Hi there. We have a thought for the day, and this thought comes from the book What We Ache For by Oriah Mountain Dreamer. And the title of this is Doing the Work. Occasionally during an interview, someone will ask me, "What advice do you have for young writers?" My response is always the same. Regardless of the age or experience of the writer, the best advice I can give about learning how to write, about improving both the quality and quantity of your writing, is simply to write. Write every day if you can. Write when you are upset or suffering, and write when you are elated and happy. Write about what is in front of you and what you remember, and what you imagine is possible. Write with pen or pencil or computer, early in the morning or late at night or on your lunch break. Write about what you know and what you do not know. Write about what you want to write about and write about what you do not want to write about. We learn how to create by creating. Reading inspiring writing, going to art galleries, getting helpful tips from experienced writers or artists, taking a course, joining a group, going on regular retreats, getting feedback, setting deadlines, creating a supportive environment, all of these help to develop your ability to do your creative work to the extent that they increase the amount of creative work that you do. If you want to learn how to write, paint, compose, sculpt, and dance, then you must write, paint, compose, sculpt, and dance. Everything in this book, all the insights, exercises, suggestions, and stories are aimed at one outcome: to encourage you to do your creative work more. It is my experience that those who engage in the creative process by actually doing the work are those who learn how. We live in a culture that values speed, and for many, anything that can't be learned over the course of a weekend workshop is just not worth the effort. The result is a plethora of workshops that promise the impossible, claiming that you can learn how to write a best-selling novel or find your soulmate or eradicate all fear from your life forever in only 2 days. Maybe we can't be blamed for hoping that instant gratification is possible. Most of us, though, are so busy running between the demands of our jobs and our responsibilities at home that finding time to engage in learning that takes more than 48 hours often feels out of reach. When I was a child, I wanted to be an artist, a painter. My parents bought me an easel, some oil paints, and masonite boards, and I began. The results were not encouraging. No matter how carefully I studied the pictures and the step-by-step instructions in the art books I pored over at the local bookstore, my trees still looked like turquoise balloons, and my people looked like they were made out of bright pink silly putty. Other than the occasional Saturday morning art class at the local Kiwanis Club, no art courses were offered in the small northern Ontario community where I grew up. I kept at it for a few years, but gave up my fantasy of going to art college when my painting did not improve appreciably. A few years later, while studying sociology at the university, I remember telling a young man I'd just met in the pub that I had wanted to be an artist, but I lacked the talent, so I had not pursued it. "Bullshit," he replied abruptly. I was offended. How could he know if I had talent or not? I pointed out somewhat tersely that he just met me, had never seen any of my paintings. Smelling of beer and stale cigarettes, he leaned in closer to me and spoke with surprising conviction. I don't need to know you or see your work to know that you quit without ever knowing if you had talent or not. What are you, 19? I conceded I was, thinking that he could be no more than 22 himself. He said, then you never gave it a chance. You haven't put enough into it to know if you have any talent or not. It takes time and work to discover what you can do, what you might do creatively. You gave up before you even began, before you had a chance to find out if you had any talent or not. I can't say that he convinced me. I still felt I was lacking some basic talent for painting. And maybe I was, but the talent I was lacking may not have been an innate ability to mix colors or see shapes, conceive images, or wield a palette knife. The talent I was lacking may have been perseverance. The willingness to do something badly over and over again until I began to learn how to do it well. Began to find my way of making what was on the canvas reflect what was in my head and my heart. So as you go about your day today, think about the fact that we are facing some monumental challenges. Challenges we will have to persevere in. The challenge to recognize that things have been done badly over and over is right in front of us, and now it's time for us to learn how to do them well. Having to clean up a world full of corruption, toxins, and anger, that of building a new world? What kind of challenge is that? The challenge of feeding ourselves, having to heal ourselves, having to heal our relationships, stop the wars, end the dependence on money. How are we going to find our way of making what exists in our reality reflect what's in our heads and in our hearts? Thank you for listening, and have a great day.